Welcome to the Extreme Underground, the show where I take a look at some of the most disturbing and controversial films in the world of cinema. Today I'll be talking about the Snowtown Murders. Directed by Justin Kurzel, starring Lucas Pittaway, Daniel Henshall, and Louise Harris, The Snowtown Murders is a movie based on true events. It revolves around 16-year-old Jamie, who's sexually abused, and his mother's new boyfriend slowly convinces him and the community that they need to stand up to these pedophiles and take action. The Snowtown Murders, or the Bodies in Barrels murders, were actually a series of real homicides that were committed by John Bunting in South Australia between 1992 and 1999. Now, many of you have asked what I think is the most disturbing movie that I've ever seen. And truly, I believe it's the Snowtown Murders. Now, the reason why it's disturbing is not because of graphic imagery. While the film does have a lot, what makes it most disturbing is John Bunting's ability to persuade people into killing for him and making them feel like they are in the right in doing so.
What do you reckon? What should happen to him?
Fucking kill him.
Kill him.
I bet you after you kicked the shit out of that fucking pedo, that he put his cock away and he didn't touch no other kid after. And that's exactly what me and Rob are doing, aren't we, mate?
He would have been more.
And that ability to manipulate people into doing something so vicious like murdering 12 people, that's what is so frightening. This movie is a very slow build and a slow burn, as it's trying to flesh out all of the characters and their relationships as far as the family's concerned and the new boyfriend John's intentions. It takes time to properly develop all of these characters so you know exactly what mind state that they're in, where they can easily be manipulated into doing horrible acts. It's important to know that there are trigger scenes in this movie. If you've ever been the victim of sexual abuse or you know somebody that has been sexually abused, then there are scenes in this movie that are going to make you angry. And another reason why this film is so terrifying and disturbing is because you're so emotionally invested in all of the characters because the performances are real, everything just seems really raw. And you as the audience member start to think that if I was sexually abused, or I know somebody that's sexually abused, maybe I could go down this same path and potentially be convinced that murder is the best option. I've seen this movie a few times now, and with every watch, I genuinely get depressed for about a week, and I just have this burning hatred inside of me for all of the people that have been victims of sexual abuse, and it makes me feel like, you know, I'm tilting and that I would take things into my own hands. Now, I'm not saying I would go out and murder anybody, but there were feelings inside of me that I had to consciously subdue because I was so depressed and so distraught about the whole situation, especially knowing that this is a real thing that happens on a daily basis. And it just aggravates me and it frustrates me that it's going to continue. If there's anything that I disliked about this movie, it's some of the longer drawn out scenes. Well, I did appreciate them for the character development and the relationship building. I do think that it's going to be a big turnoff for a lot of casual viewers who might not be that interested in the true crime genre. So I can see a lot of people turning this off, and because this was on Netflix, and it might still be, I can see a lot of Netflix viewers just getting super bored with it and not really giving it the time that it deserves. That said, this is a great film. It's not a nice one, and it doesn't have a happy ending, but it is a very psychologically disturbing movie that might bring some emotions to you that you didn't think a film could make you feel. Now, I know this film is not for everybody. It's not gonna resonate the same way that it might with a victim of sexual abuse. And if you are one and you go into this movie, I do want to warn you, it's a huge trigger and you may have these thoughts of depression and just very terrible feelings inside. It's well done and it's well portrayed, almost too well done that it just feels real. So just be warned. With that said, I'm going to give this 5 barrels out of 5. As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the Snowtown Murders. If you haven't seen it and you do want to check it out, there are links in the description where you can find it. And this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything Bloodbath and beyond.